promo. I didn't do the thing. I didn't do the thing.
So we're live right now?
Yeah, we're already alive. What the hell? I didn't do the
Doesn't
thing.
show me as live yet.
Oh, it says end stream. Oh yeah.
Okay, we're up now.
Starting
It's
up on
officially up
YouTube.
now for
Yeah.
me. I've got it muted.
Anyway, the only
Mutated.
person
I'd rather say mutated. I have a
Mute?
question.
What's the question?
First, I want to say hello to anybody out there who might be listening at this moment. We
Right.
put the YouTube link, the YouTube, scheduled link up there for well in advance of 2 o'clock Central. So hopefully some more people are going to join us. But at any rate, I'm thinking about April 8th, which is a total eclipse.
Ooh.
I think it's April 8th. Yeah, it's I don't know what time of day it's going to be. I think it'll be during the day. Obviously, it has to be during the day. That was a stupid statement. But anyway, it's going to be 4 minutes long or so, give or take, and which is considered a long time for a total eclipse.
And it's going to be right where you are, right? It's going to go right over.
It's going to be right overhead. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much, right overhead. So my question is, especially with a 3 or 4 minute long eclipse, do outdoor animals, do things like howl or moo, or do birds make weird sounds when an eclipse happens, a total eclipse?
Yeah, there owls will come out and hoot and do it, and there are a couple other things I've heard about this happening. Some sort of the animals think, oh, nighttime, okay, and the cats wake up, and naps over, that sort of thing. Yeah,
hey, we have not only do we have Captive Desk joining us, Dave, from the deep south. We also have in our side chat, Icarus has joined us. Hello, Icarus, and some cool advice from Calacia789, who does a bang up job moderating on the line. Jimmy Snow's wonderful network of collection of YouTube based shows, and glad everybody could join us. I'm going to go try Kalaja's advice, and so y'all continue to talk. I just wanted to get. I heard coyotes last night across the field whenever I was trying to get to sleep in a thunderstorm, and my first reaction, I think I told you, was to grab a spear and go kill them. But bed was too comfortable, and I don't have a spear.
Yep. Coyotes do that. For some reason, they are the most aggravating sounding. Like they get together and they start yipping at each other, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you. I'm sorry. Nothing should sound like that. Like hyenas, want to kill them too. Kill all this stuff. So a friend of mine gave me some really strong mushrooms, and I didn't trust them, so I thought they were really weak, so I did like 3 times as much as any human should ever do. And so I've come to Jesus, I went through this whole conversion process, and Jesus came and visited me. We had a good chat. I made Jesus some black tea. And what do you think?
What's he been up to for 2,000 years?
He was like, I think he was like down in the Bahamas or something, fucking around down there for a long time, kind of like on the beach, because he had that whole post-traumatic stress experience for getting hung on the cross for 3 days, and he had to recover from that, and he just felt like it was, time off.
Like he earned the beach, right?
He earned the beach for 2,000 years. Yeah. So he sat there the whole time, and Spaniards came and Spaniards went, and yeah. Anyway, yes. So Kai doesn't think the homunculus.
He dodged the Inquisition and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it wasn't over. He was no fucking waves going back to Europe. He's kind of like he's kind of like Ted Cruz when it gets cold in Texas. You know, he ain't gonna see.
Heck out of Dodge.
He's a blight on the land.
Hey,
Him and Greg Abbott and all those Republicans up there.
Yes. Yep. We're having a big fight here in Minneapolis between the mayor and the city council. The city council voted to start treating Uber and Lyft drivers properly and start paying them a livable wage. And Uber and Lyft are threatening to pull out of Minneapolis. So the mayor is going to veto it, but then he's going to get overridden. But yeah, we got our own kind of shit going on here. But
yeah,
I think
saw
local politics.
The taxi drivers were all striking over in Greece, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be happy here if Uber and Lyft gets their asses kicked. You know, if Uber and Lyft does leave, then the taxi drivers are going to be back in business. They're going to enjoy that. But I mean, these guys, they end up really getting screwed, you know, and some of them work like 16 hours a day. You know, it's, I don't know. Who knows? Minneapolis be cool. So there was a comedian, Corey something or another, that was on Seth Meyers last night. And he did a HBO special for Minneapolis. And they were talking about how cool Minneapolis is for comedy shows because apparently we're a little bit liberal here. But and anyway, he mentioned mushrooms during his show, and everybody in the audience cheered. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, yeah.
What was the name of that comedian again? I think I recommended him to you.
You did. Corey, it's probably in our text link somewhere.
Yeah, I'll have to. Rory something.
Oh, Rory, yeah, okay. Rory.
But yeah, he was, the first half was just real funny. The second half,
yeah.
If you have a certain kind of sense of humor, you'll love it. But it just didn't.
Yeah, his content was good, but I'm not sure if his delivery is all that hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be, but he's definitely worth watching and listening to.
But apparently in the last part of the show, he got into what he would do if there's an apocalypse to his family. Did you hear that? And he was talking about that on Seth Meyers.
I've not watched the Seth Meyers interview. I'll have to do that.
Yeah, you have to. Like you have to make a decision of what you're going to do with the family. If you should do it on day one, or should wait until they're really starving to death. But anyways, it was interesting. And like day one's like too soon. You're kind of a scumbag if you do that.
Yeah.
At
least stick with him for a week.
Yeah. Anyway, so Kai, where's Kai? So is Kai CJ? Are you CJ? Are you lurking? Okay, I don't think I agree with the homunculus problem of Dennett. Well, the homunculus problem of Dennett is this. If you think there's a representation, like, okay, if your senses tell you there's a tree out there, and if you think you're representing that tree in your mind, then Dennett asks the question, who's looking at the representation? So you've automatically started homunculus thinking. When you think you see, you think that you have your brain has manufactured a picture of the tree inside of it. And we all kind of think that way. I mean, like a lot of physicalists and atheists believe that your mind creates a representation. But when you look into what neurons actually do inside your brain, they can't possibly do that. That's bullshit. You're mostly you're manufacturing this wonderful illusion, which is not really an illusion, because your eyes saccade across that scene and put together enough detail, and then you manufacture the rest in your imagination. So you think you're seeing all this detail, and then as soon as you think about the detail, your eyes will flash over to that spot, and you will indeed get the detail. So the illusion is not a real illusion. You actually can see the fucking tree, and you can see all of this stuff very easily. And the thing is that you have access to it. You know, you basically have access to all that detail. So it doesn't matter if you only think that in the moment that you're seeing a little bit of it. And then your memory will fill in areas and your imagination will fill in all the rest of it. So it's a wonderful illusion that your mind creates, and it's very, very realistic. And those fucking trees, I got to tell you about those trees. They're actually out there. There actually are trees in the world, and they're not in your head. And you don't even have a representation inside your head. And that's what Dennett's thing is about the homunculus. We're not going to get too far into the brain today, though. Thought we'd talk about Jesus and a few other things. And Godless Granny was on SJ's channel, and I linked that and Godless Granny's channel.
Granny gave me a shout out. Much appreciated.
Uh-oh. What shout out to who? Did we?
Granny saw I was in the chat on SJ's stream, and
it happened again. It happened again. Restream keeps bouncing me out.
Man,
SJ said something about lots of people are here for you, and she said, "Oh, I see Captive Desk. I know he's here for me."
Oh yeah, she did mention you. Yeah, I recall that. I watched part of it, but SJ just started spewing Catholic apologetics, and
they almost came to blows, and then it mellowed out.
Yeah,
it was really close.
Anyway, yeah. I started to say that, Dave, you got something going on at 4 p.m. on your channel, and could you give me a link to that so I could put it in my description? And
yeah, I'm going to do a Grassman short in about 50 minutes.
Yeah, so Calacia 789, mine pulls images from memory. I think that's how it works, and that embellishes them. And the thing is that it's a little bit stranger than that, because like 90% of the input to your primary visual cortex comes from other parts of your brain, not from your eyes. You only get 10% from your eyes. And you tend to like put it all together, but not just with memory. It's with this memory that's highly synchronized with the real world, so that you can get a very, very realistic picture of it. It's kind of like watching a TV, knowing that there's a little dot flying across the screen. You know, well, the old TVs. New TVs, I don't know what the hell they'd look like what would they look like if you slowed them down? I don't know what a digital TV, I think you'd still see the whole pixel. Anyway, but it's kind of like a little dot, you know, and it's like you got this little area that fills in. But the thing is, it's got all the realism that your brain can possibly handle. And it's a wonderful illusion. It's not a dumb illusion. It's not a misrepresentation. And the reason it's like that is because you have been in the physical world. You've been looking at trees for, a long time, and things like trees and objects in the world. And your brain does a really good job of mapping that. Anyway, I was also saying I wasn't going to talk about the brain too much, but I got to show you guys something. Let me see.
It doesn't hurt to talk a little about the brain.
Yeah, I talk a little bit. Well, I want to put out some real content about consciousness and Castrup, and I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. Anyway, so I've been working on a thing here. I've been working on Castrup. This is just from one of his books, basically, where I'm basically putting together a mind map, right? And Dave, we were talking about that guy. What's his name? I think I got his information right here. I had Sweet Nathan or something.
Nathan Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of the arguments that he put together. Basically, I had it. What is wrong with Bernardo Kastrup's response to the standalone world objection? And then his AI came up. Aaron Ra talked to him, and basically he got a lot of negative feedback, and I don't think Aaron treated him very well. But he is sweetly rational is what the AI is called, and it is wonderful for putting together arguments, philosophical arguments. So I want to give the guy credit where credit is due. He did a really good job. And this is all basically, these are, let's see here. This is basically all of the bibliography and Kastrup's books, and then I have comments, and I have other papers that those papers recommended. And I'm kind of beginning to look like that guy that has fucking strings and yarn going all over his room. And I'm kind of like thinking of myself as some kind of a nutcake that I'm getting this far into this philosophy shit. And anyway, and that's just
Well,
one.
you have to people are falling for the superficial aspects of his
Right. Yeah, he's got a
philosophical musings, but when you try to go deep, you realize, well, we're just on the shallow end of the pool.
Yeah.
And the pool's not even full, you know. He's trying to create a one philosophy fits all woo framework, I think, to give anybody permission to believe anything is true.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a cult following, and he is as bad or worse. Like, okay, you have a certain amount of people, like maybe 30% of the country that's going to fall for fundamentalist Christian bullshit, right? And then you got another 50-60%, including a whole lot of liberals that are going to fall for the rest of the bullshit, for other bullshit like idealism and the universal mind and all of that. And
reincarnation,
Castro, in a lot of ways, is worse than some of the religion stuff. Him and
I
his
guess you could justify ghosts too, in that framework.
Let's see. Okay, what do we got here? I think it was really insightful when you pointed out that idealists could be motivated to be idealists to not rule out the existence of the supernatural. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed, is that one of the reasons, and I'm pretty sure that's CJ. Is that CJ? Did CJ admit to being CJ?
Key denied being CJ. I'm pronouncing it Key. I hope it's the correct pronunciation. If you want to be pronounced Kai, then please let us know.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole thing about, like, there's a certain group of people that kind of want, they're the mushroom people, right? The mushroom and the Native American spirituality people and the crystal people and all of that. And they think materialism and physicalism is boring and gray and dry. So they're motivated to want to believe that the mind is something way beyond what it is. That, the mind is so special. And that's part of the motivation. And you cannot reason with people that are locked into a particular view for emotional reasons like that. And of course, Kastrup accuses physicalists of doing that too, that we're locked into this. We just want to die. We look forward to our annihilation when we die, or some fucking thing. And, so it goes back and forth. And what it boils down to is what your intuitions are about your worldview and how it pans out. And a lot of materialists from like the 1950s, 74 years ago, had this like dry, sciencey, mechanical view of the world. And yeah, that's not very appealing. It's pretty fucking dry. But back then we had black and white television, so that's why they were right. When we got to color television, us physicalists said, "Whoa, that's cool, color." I don't know. Anyway, so
most scientists also wore those thick black rimmed glasses that in the when I was in Navy boot camp, they kept calling them the birth control glasses.
Yeah, when I was in second grade, I got an A in science, and I started to really get into astronomy and a whole bunch of shit. And we had a science book with a picture of a guy with black, thick rimmed glasses and a lab coat on the front cover. And I started getting role typed as the nerdy kid in class. And so what I did is I joined a group of leather jacket thugs and I became a bad boy. And it was a reaction to that fucking picture on the front of that science book that I basically started drinking and started swearing and started, just raising hell and all that stuff.
Threw that pocket protector right in the garbage.
I threw that pocket protector, but I kept the science stuff going on in the background. So in my thug crowd, I was known as the guy to ask if you had any questions about sex or your body or the world or anything. They'd come and ask me. So I became the sciencey guy for the thugs, and then I led us a thug lifestyle until 2007. No, till I was 30 years old almost, and it was a choice I made as a result of being role typed. Anyway. Interesting life stories. So I want to talk about psychedelics. So, like, what they do to your brain, they break your brain up. Like I use this analogy with Scott. If you have oil on top of water, in your kitchen sink, and you drop a bit of detergent on that oil, it breaks up into all these little globules. Well, anyway, psychedelics do that to your brain. And the reason that I want to point that out is that is not a safe thing to do to your fucking brain. You really got to know what you're doing if you put something in your body that's going to completely change the ordinary working of your brain, right? And then there's all sorts of other things like epileptic seizures, suffocation, hitting yourself on the head. Kastrup uses all these examples. Taking ibogaine or other poisons in very small quantities, you'll end up also having a psychedelic experience. And it's like, ooh, we should take all these things. We should get a hammer and we should go out in the garage and put our head in a vise. No. All you need is a vise, right? And you start squeezing the vise. And then, when you get right at the point where you're seeing God, you quit squeezing, hopefully. You don't keep squeezing because your head will pop. But I mean, these are all things that are being recommended in a lot of new age groups. And these new age groups are the same groups that buy into idealism and spirit mind and all that bullshit. But on the other hand, psychedelics are like psilocybin and LSD are the most powerful medical or chemicals that we have found in thousands of years. Well, we found them thousands of years ago, but in current use in psychiatry, these are the most powerful fucking drugs that we have ever found. And in the right hands, under the right setting, under the right controlled conditions, these can be remarkably powerful. But the woo people are going to come in with their crystals and their fucking ayahuasca and all the other bullshit, ceremonial breath work, cold showers, fucking Wim Hof method, all of that. And they're going to fuck it up again. They're going to fuck it up. So what have I said here? I'm saying use extreme caution if you're going to dip into psychedelics, because it's a tool. And it's going to break your mind up in such a way that you will find new memories, new connections, and you have the possibility of rewiring some stuff. But you better fucking know what you're doing, or your brain is going to rewire to make you more miserable than you were before. So it's a powerful tool. Like a chainsaw is a powerful tool. But you don't want to just go out and, drink 12 beers and smoke a bunch of dope and fire up the chainsaw, right?
And don't wear flip-flops.
Right. Yeah, don't wear flip-flops when using chainsaw.
Okay, I want a number one in the side chat for anybody who's ever operated a chainsaw outdoors wearing flip-flops. Come on, be honest.
I have wore bad shoes and had them slip off and got into a situation on a hillside where, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You don't want to fuck around. So this guy, I think it was in Minnesota, he was sawing a tree down and a big black bear came up and grabbed him from behind and apparently hit him in the head and knocked him out. And when he woke up, the bear was cut in half. Or had the chainsaw sticking at him. So basically he went unconscious and the chainsaw got the bear.
That's why you should never instruct a bear on how to use properly a chainsaw.
Right. You see, that's an example. Yeah, that's an example of misuse of psychedelics. The bear trying to use that chainsaw and just fucked him up, you know. So anyway, you don't want that.
I was watching one of the Conan O'Brien podcast episodes. You know, they divide them up into little clips on YouTube, and they were talking about bear attacks. And there's like a rhyme that says black bear attack, grizzly lay back, polar, it's over.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is you want to make yourself as big as possible, maybe clump together in a group of 2 or 3 people, bang on pots and pans if you have them, or just make noise to discourage the black bear. But for a grizzly, hopefully you have like a backpack on, and you lay on your face, cover your head and your neck and your ears and everything as much as you can, and spread your legs and just lay there.
I like to shoot.
I've heard to curl up in a fetal position, but the instructions that I think one of the park services puts out is that, you know, you should have your legs straight. But I thought that was interesting.
Black bear, that doesn't always work with black bear. They have 2 modes. One mode is where they'll rush at you and make a whole bunch of noise, and then they'll stop. And what they're trying to do is get you out of their territory. But they have another mode. And that mode is where they'll circle you and they kind of like rush you for just a couple of feet. And they want to see how you respond. And they'll circle you. And what they're doing is they're hunting. They want food.
We have Jefferson Spatchcock in the side chat.
Hello, Jefferson.
Come on. Jefferson, you can click the link that is pinned up to the side chat if you want to hop on in. You may be at work. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Bears. I've been chased by bears a couple times. I've been like rushed by them, you know, to get out of the territory. And one time I was stalked by a bear. Me and my brother were stalked by about a 400-pound black bear. But black bears can get up to 500 pounds. I saw one once. Holy shit, are they big? They look like fucking elephants. And we were stalked by one for a whole day once. And I mentioned that on this channel before. Anyway, what else is happening? What else up? I keep getting bounced out. I'm not sure how long I'm going to have the patience for this to keep coming back.
Well, there's a, did I mention that Robert Cargill link? I'm a big fan of the Excavator channel, and it's like XKV8R.
It's
and
in
it's
the description.
Robert Cargill. So what?
It's in the description.
Yeah, and Speed was kind enough to put it in the description. They're doing. You may or may not know this, but there are a couple of people who in the Old Testament who apparently never really died, and so him and a PhD student of his are going over that today. It's already. I don't even know what time it's supposed to go live. It may already have happened, but it's a good channel. Lots of great topics having to do with archaeological evidence in I'm going to say in Palestine or in the Holy Land. But he's University of Iowa, I believe, and so he's a really good resource.
So
we may have seen him on Myth Vision.
We got the Freak and Jefferson Spatchcock and Kentucky Atheist. Hey, the link is pinned. If anybody wants to
somebody come in. Tell us what you're doing. Chat with us. Give us a point of view.
Yeah, tell us about talk me out of this conversion to Jesus that I just underwent recently when I was Two Stone.
I show off my shirt.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's good because a shirtless Dave would probably be way too appealing, and we'd lose members to your channel like immediately.
This was the artwork that YouTube Punk made, and
Let me
YouTube Punk and I are the only ones that have these shirts.
How do I make you big? Can I make you big? No, it makes me big. I want to make you big. How do I make you big? I can't. I don't know how. Maybe if I move you up there. Okay, now I can make you big. I made you big.
There we go.
Grass. Oh boy, that's a nice shirt.
The Grassman Crown.
Oh, and I love the green, but you know what? You need a pocket tee. Sorry.
That's the thing. I couldn't use my. I can't use my green screen with this shirt on.
Yeah. You're gonna have a ghostly appearance. Operated a chainsaw barefoot without a shirt. There you go. Who needs boots? Anyway.
Well, and back in the day too, auto mechanics used to wear a shirt and a tie.
Who?
And it's like auto mechanics.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
They wore a shirt and a tie, and it's like if that wasn't just asking to.
So I was
sucked right into an engine.
I was in school for electronics, and we had this course on. It was on printers. Did basically gigantic mainframe printers back then. They had these printers that would be, they'd occupy your living room, right? They were that big, and they had a print head on them, and the print head was a cylinder that was probably weighed about 20 pounds. Okay, so it was solid metal, about 20 pounds. And it would spin at about 500 RPM, maybe 1,000 RPMs on this printer. And he was making the point that you should never wear a tie when you work on stuff, because he brought one of these cylinders in, and you could see that it was bent out of shape. The whole cylinder was like kind of compressed. And he said that was what a guy's head did at Control Data in Minneapolis when it went through the printer, because it caught his tie and took his head off. It's like, holy shit. That was a good lesson as to why you should never wear a tie. Wear something around your neck, with a slip knot in it. Does that, why did that ever start? Did they want to be able to hang anybody at, moment's notice? Or what was the point of that exactly? Can you figure that one out?
I don't know. I don't like wearing them.
No, they're. I always wore a clip-on when I had to wear ties. Like when I got a new contract, I'd always dress up for the first week, and then they'd meet the real me after the second week. So I ain't wearing no fucking tie. I ain't wearing no weird dress pants, man. I wear jeans or nothing.
They are definitely a hazard, and if you work in any kind of environment.
Oh, I also
the way to go would be a clip-on. So.
I posted the trailer. I'm sorry, Dave.
Go ahead.
Overtalk. I posted the trailer to the new Fallout. That's a series that's coming out. I think it's a series.
That's what it said. Yeah,
coming out in a month on Prime. Coming out on Prime. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, bow ties remind Tsunami of Tucker Carlson. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're in an industrial environment, make sure you wear a clip-on tie so that it would get pulled off of you. Because
well,
they are a hazard.
I quit wearing a tie. I read this thing about them that the tie originally was meant to show the length of your penis, so that males would display their penis on their. And if you look at some baboons, it looks like their dick is on their face. You can see their scrotum. And basically wearing a tie is just a way for a man to show that he has a penis. And I said, nope, not doing that. Not doing that no more. I just
thought that was truck nuts.
What was that?
I thought it was truck nuts were supposed to show off.
In Texas,
virility.
I can understand. I'm sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, in Texas, I can understand why they wear those string-looking ties with the with the metal thing in the middle. because it's so hot to wear a tie most of the time in Texas.
It's just ridiculous to wear a tie. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people that they haven't changed their style in that many years? I mean, come on, dudes. Wear something else. I mean, if you gotta wear something, wear a fucking flower or wear a hubcap on your chest or whatever the hell, you know?
It's
Wear a
just
big-
status
or wear-
signaling.
Wear a Bigfoot shirt.
Yeah. Yep. And they say, God, they still do it. It's almost like you got to dress like this, otherwise we're not going to take you seriously. It's like, fuck you. I'm not taking you seriously because of that. Well, I was a little bit rebellious when I was a kid. I don't think it's left me.
A lot of places have gone more casual though. So,
Oh, anyway, I want to point out that well, let's see here. Okay, I'm wearing the camouflage shirt and the thumbnail on today's video where Speed of Sound accepts idealism, the soul, and come to Jesus. I just wanted to point out that I'm just trolling. No, yeah, I found Jesus. Yeah, I found him in my wood pile.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, because it disconnected on me for a second.
Oh, okay. Are you
We're gonna
feeling?
show off my T-shirt?
Are you feeling unheard, Scott?
demons.
Scott, are you feeling unheard?
Wanted to show off that I'm wearing. It says Gramps.
Hold on a minute.
And grandsons.
Hold that pose. Hold that
buddies
pose.
forever. Got
What
to
is
flip
that?
it. It says Gramps and grandsons, and that's like a fist bump.
Oh,
You know, little fist, little bump. Buddies
nice.
forever. My
What
daughter-in-law got that for me a couple of Christmases ago.
Awesome, Grandpa.
We got another one coming. I'm gonna have a granddaughter to spoil come September.
Humana.
Humana.
That's what my uncles used to call me, is Humana. I was
Congrats to everybody there, Scott.
So what? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, congrats to everybody.
I was working on some project with my uncle, and he started calling me Amana, because I'd say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna write a book, I'm gonna do this, so he started calling me.
That's a mom back. You know what a mom back is?
Mom back? No.
Mom back. That's what you yell. That's what you yell at the truck driver. Mom back.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we got no takers on that pinned invite to
I
come
know
in.
we would love to have some people come in.
And
Bree, are you able to hop in?
Hive Science is here.
Hello, Bree.
Bree is here. Swami, a man who knows how to dress is hot. Oh, anyway. Oh, I'm going to Palm Springs next week, and then I'm going out to the coast, down to Imperial.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
On Tuesday.
you're gonna wear your tropical shirts all the time?
Nope. I'm wearing my regular T-shirt and just what I wear all the time.
Hoven special.
That's my favorite style, is not necessarily tropical shirts, but shirts with colorful patterns. I have one that's like it's black and white, but it's a treble clef and musical staff. I have others that look like fire and ice or whatever, and stars and suns and things like that. So I don't like when I want to be around people, I won't just wear a t-shirt, but I will wear something like that.
I've been wearing T-shirts, flannel shirts, and jeans since I was 7 years old. No matter what I'm doing, no matter where I am, I just find it really comforting to know what I always look like.
Yeah, me too, Mike.
No colors. Got to have a pocket tee, because I used to have a pack of cigarettes, and now I have nicotine lozenges. Sumami.
That's where my phone goes.
Sumami? Oh, in the pocket. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Every time you bend over to pick up a rock, phone goes.
If I'm doing anything, then I
got a seatbelt.
Button it up.
What do they have seatbelts for phones? You know, I could use a seatbelt for my water bottle because I open a new bottle of water and I put it in the cup holder, and then I go around the corner because I go around the corner at about 90 miles an hour, and I have that water in my lap or on my ass. So then wherever I get up to go, my entire ass is wet.
Don't you have one of those chain wallets left over from when you were a bad boy? Hook it to your phone?
Never did get into a chain wallet, no.
Didn't have the chain wallet?
Yeah, I should chain my water bottle so that it doesn't fly out of my cup holder when I go around the corner. That's a bad thing. I love to go fast. What else? What else was I going to do? There's other stuff I wanted. I've been looking more deeply into what psychedelics do to your brain, and it really is kind of cool. But that would require diagrams and a show.
You think people that wrote religious texts were doing drugs or fasting or something like that?
Might have been
all their visions.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the other thing. Fasting. If you don't eat, and you're almost dying, you'll have wonderful spiritual experiences. It's like, I don't think so.
If I get busy doing something and I don't eat, my eyes will start getting funny. They'll get a little blurry and everything and stuff. And,
yep.
I know my sugar's dropping.
Oh, I got something here. Let me see if I can get it on the screen properly. I wonder if I can do that.
If I can do that in just, a matter of hours of doing something without having the calories, it could come on you pretty quick that your eyes could totally get screwball.
Nope, I don't want that. That's me. We don't want me. Okay, we want this. And let me see here if I can make this bigger and put it in the right spot. Make it bigger, bigger, bigger.
Are you putting this on the Google thing?
No, this is some special software that I bought called Mind Map by Wondershare. And you'd have to, oh shit, what just happened? Oh my goodness. What did I do? What did you do? What did you do? Yeah, I'm not quite used to for some reason they don't position properly, which kind of irritates me. What I'm trying to show you is your brain on psychedelics. Right here. So let me make it a little bigger. And slide her over there. So you see that? I don't know how good it is, but let's try it again. Anyway, on the left is your normal brain connectivity, and on the right is what happens to your brain on psychedelics. So what happens is your entire brain melts into these small world networks, and they're all interconnected. So that to go a small world network is if you go from one cluster. Things that are close together are very likely to be wired together. They're firing together. And then it is just a few short steps to get to any other part of your brain. So what psychedelics do is they greatly increase the connectivity across your entire brain to the point where you can't function. I mean, if you get a high enough dose, you won't be able to function. And the wonderful thing about that is that it increases creativity and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that happen in psychedelics. But it can also lead to a very bad time. It can be a very devastating fucking thing at the same time.
Is it actually leading to more neural pathways during this?
Yeah, and those neural pathways are more likely to start wiring together so that you can actually... So it's like antifreeze for your brain. It melts it, and then you're in charge of putting it back together over the next 3 months, basically. So if there's anybody that wants to melt their brain, go for it, but know what the fuck you're doing is my constant message to people. There's a nice picture. The red to blue. Excuse me a second.
This reminds me of the naturalistic fallacy that says because it's natural, and I'm not saying that what's been proposed is not is natural, but I'm saying in general, anytime you mess with your brain, anytime you mess with your body by taking a manually or man-made processed drugs or chemicals, or even quote unquote natural means, there's costs and consequences and side effects, even if it's natural, even if it's the most common natural thing in the world, that ancient humanity used to eat or do. There's still going to be, if you take too much of it, there's still going to be a consequence, and we have to keep that in mind, especially when you're going to be attempting to change your brain states.
Per Astra ad Astra is here. I just noticed. Okay, the red areas on this diagram, it goes red to black or dark blue. The red areas are the areas that are more highly activated under psychedelics like LSD and psilocybin. And you can see in the back here, the back of your brain, basically. Is that the? Yeah, that's the back. Your visual area gets lit up a lot more intensely because it has a lot of those 5-HT hydroxytryptamine receptors in the back of your brain, and that's why when you close your eyes, you still see things. You get hallucinations, and it's basically because this area lights up so much. And there are some other little areas here, and there are areas in the center that get shut down, which is called your default mode network, which gives you the sense of yourself, the sense of your ego, the sense of where you are in space and time. And that's why it can be such a really strange experience, because all of a sudden you're in a world that you don't even recognize, that sort of thing, because it shuts down the part that locks your brain into knowing where you are, what you are. And you will lose touch with that, and you will gain a whole lot of other shit going on everywhere else. It's very similar. They found that it's a very similar result to a dream state. When you're dreaming, you also have that same sort of phenomena going on. And anyway,
your brain can be fooled.
Yeah, kind of cool, but one should be careful.
Her ad Astra has this comment about drugs. Had a bad trip on, I don't know what Delta 9 is.
What is Delta 9? I don't even know.
But the comment, I like to get my high from running, it's pretty cool. I don't know how else consistently per ad Astra gets a high from running, but back when I used to run and train for marathons, half marathons, and 10Ks and things like that, I rarely got high from running. But then again, a lot of the times when I was running, it was hot in Texas, so that might have taken away from it.
So Delta 9 is something that's in cannabis, apparently. Is it a form of THC? Delta 9 THC. Oh, so tetrahydrocannabinol. Let me see.
It's the oil.
Right to
Thank you, Kafai, for showing up and reminding us of that, because I was drawing a blank on that.
Yeah, I once had a bad trip on, for some reason, somebody told me to eat a whole bud in a cookie. And for the next 8 hours, I couldn't walk. And I kept tumbling through this mental space where I couldn't land anywhere. And I had a really bad trip on it. It was really fucked up. I mean, mushrooms are for fucking wussies, man. That fucking overdose on cannabinol and that is a strange trip, really strange trip. I will never touch it again. ever don't want anything to do with it. It's a good story though. I ate the cookie, and My advisor told me that, oh no, it'll hardly affect you, because I was looking for an analgesic effect for workout pain. And I'm sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden the TV starts swirling around and melting. And then I tried to get up, and I fell to the ground, and I had to crawl around, and I crawled to bed, hung onto my pillow, and prayed that it would fucking stop. Please stop.
On a little side note,
Yeah.
we had the traveling vet stop by because Mrs. Desk was worried about the cat's a little older, and you know, we took in her as a stray, so she's always been a little skittish, and going to the vet would be very traumatic.
Oh, traveling vets are great.
So she thought, well, I'll try some CBD and see if we could, you know, mellow the cat out. Well, she was trying it out, and one of the issues it had a weeping eye, had a big, you know, thing coming, you know, eye booger coming out all the time.
Yeah.
And it clears right up when she takes the CBD. And I'll be darned if she didn't cooperate pretty much with
Really?
when the vet came and they had her wrapped in a towel and everything and stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing what
that's just like my
CBD
ex-wife
can do.
That's like my ex-wife. If you get her stoned on pot, she just turns into this like really nice person, and then the pot wears off. But yeah, she was really, really easy to deal with when she was ripped. And I met her the first 3 years I knew her. She was so stoned every day.
Well, I've got to give it the thumbs up. So if you have an animal that, you know, could use a little calming down for the vet or grooming or something like that, you might want to check it out.
Yeah, for Loki Thorne snack, I have Dr. Antonucci's magnificent traveling vet van. It's a local service, and Loki had to have surgery, so they brought a van into my yard, like a 28-foot surgery van, and they went in, nuked Loki, went out, did the surgery, brought him back in the house, and he didn't even know he didn't even know he left.
They came in the you know, what do you call it, an oversized van type, you know, thing with the side door and everything. And yeah, it's got all decked out inside and everything, and had an assistant with her and everything. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, I thought that getting a vet to do house calls would be expensive. They're actually the same price or cheaper because they have far less overhead. And so I really don't take your pets, you know, and because that's traumatic for them. You know,
going to the vet is not cheap anyway. Yeah.
Renting office space for a veterinarian has to be very expensive if they rent, lease or whatever. So yeah, I would think the overhead would be a lot better.
Yeah. So Sumami says dosage with edibles matters. Yes. Holy fuck, does it matter? Yes. I agree. I just got
my notification, Mike, giving me a 10-minute warning. So okay. I'm gonna duck out and.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, your 4 o'clock is my 3 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up, and everybody should go over to Dave's.
Go do my thing.
Yeah, go to Dave's.
But anyway,
travel over there.
My friend told me that I had done 50 times the normal dosage of cannabis, and that would account for the really bad time that I had. Anyway, Dave. Okay, so I think we should wrap it up and go watch Dave. In 5 minutes.
It's good seeing everybody, and I'll talk to you.
Dave.
Again.
Look forward to seeing you on your channel.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know about DMT, Kafai. I decided I had the opportunity for DMT, and I decided no, I don't really. I mean, I've got one thing that I'm working with, and that's all I'm going to work with. Or well, actually 2 things, LSD and psilocybin. So I don't need to add DMT to because what I've heard of DMT, it sounds like it's way too much, you know, and I don't want to go there. But God help anybody.
Your sons might arrange an intervention for you if you do that.
Yeah, and I'm not in ayahuasca ceremony. I heard you basically throw up and shit yourself for 6 hours, and it's like, no, that doesn't sound like a good time to me. It doesn't sound like a good time. they give you a pail in your room, you know, and it's like, no, I don't think so. I want to do that. I'll just eat a whole bunch of shrimp. Yep. Anyway, what do you think, Scott? Should we end it?
Well, I think I'm very grateful for the people that joined us today, either watching or interacting in the side chat.
Yep. And
we love it when you go ahead.
I'm still an atheist.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
I guess Jesus dropped the ball. Maybe he doesn't care about you.
No, I sobered up.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, guys. What were you saying?
Go over to Captive Desks channel and enjoy his 4 o'clock feature, or 3 p.m. Central.
Yes.
Bye.
Yep. Okay. Goodbye, cruel world.